Today we're going to talk about circular saws. The one in front of me here is a 7 1/4 inch, which is the most common size that you'll see. This is actually a direct drive. There also are worm drives, which are a completely different configuration. Unfortunately, the circular saws will vary in the sizes. They're all determined by the actual size or the diameter of the blade. So we have a 7 1/4 here. Here's a little larger model. This is a 16 inch. I've used this quite a few times doing timber framing projects. It's a bit of a beast, but basically they have the same setup. I'm gonna go through the parts on a circular saw. Make sure that whenever time you're monkeying around with one of these, whether it's changing blades or making adjustments, make sure that you keep it unplugged. Okay, so basically we're gonna start out from the top, work our way down. We have a handle at the top here. There's a trigger down below. Snaps on and off. Unfortunately on this one, the handle's been broken off. There is usually a handle here for your second hand to ride on. Out front here, what we have is, we have a retractable guard, which will snap back once you're finished with your cut. We have the base here that it rides on. We have the nut for the actual blade, keeps it tight. And the blade itself. On the front of your circular saw, if I loosen this up, what happens is you can adjust the base all the way up to 45 degrees. But it only goes in one direction. On the front here, we have a button here. If I rotate the blade, this will eventually find a spot where it slides in and it'll lock the blade in place. And that way we can loosen it or tighten it. This here's the motor on the actual circular saw. You actually have brushes inside. You can actually loosen these out when they wear out, and you can change them. You notice the saw's not running right. It doesn't have any power, or it's not running at all. A good possibility that your brushes are wore down. On the end here, what you have is you have ports. What you should do is you should take your air hose and you should blow them out occasionally. They'll last a lot longer and it'll be a lot easier on your back of the saw. I have a lever right here. If I pull it up, what's going to happen is it's going to allow me to adjust the base up and down to set the depth of the blade. I've loosened the handle. I can move it up and down. The problem is I've got the guard in the way, so I'll show you a little trick. In order to adjust this properly and keep yourself safe, that blade should be about 1/8 of an inch below the surface. I just lifted up the little arm. Once I'm in the right position, then I can just tighten it down and I'm ready to go. Very little blade exposed. And I'll make sure that I cut right through the whole piece.